Set in Venice, the story will focus on an MMA athlete named Kurt. He is celebrating the victory of his brother, Eric, who has just won a championship title in a battle. Soon after, Eric was approached by a female promoter named Marcia, who intended to invite him to Thailand to participate in an illegal fight against a Muay Thai champion rumored to be unbeatable. Without hesitation, Eric accepted the offer, tempted by the large sum of money promised.
No rules, no ref. Just your wit and skill to keep you alive. So who wants to go to Thailand?
All right, now we're talking. Keep going.
After the party, Kurt, worried about his brother's safety, quickly urged Eric to back out. He suspected Marcia was a scammer who only wanted to exploit others for her personal gain. However, Eric, confident in his abilities and tempted by the large cash reward, ignored Kurt's advice.
I'm walking toward a future.
A few days later, Kurt received an envelope containing a ticket to Thailand and a brief message from Eric about the upcoming fight schedule. Without delay, Kurt immediately headed to Thailand. Upon arriving in Thailand, Kurt immediately headed to the fight location. There, he saw his brother fighting against the Muay Thai champion, Tong Po, who turned out to have a physique similar to Dave Bautista from SmackDown and was much larger than Eric. As a result, as the fight had just ended, police suddenly arrived to conduct a raid. The spectators panicked and began running. Fortunately, Tong Po managed to escape, but a tragic fate befell Eric, who lay lifeless on the ground. Marcia came to the cremation site to express her condolences for Eric's death. Kurt, who had never liked Marcia, felt that her presence was merely a formality and showed no sign of remorse. His anger overflowed, and he immediately strangled her.
You killed him!
Kurt was eventually sanctioned by the police who witnessed the incident. As a consequence, he would be deported from Thailand for his wrongdoing. Before being deported, Kurt was taken by the police to meet his brother's trainer. He was brought to a remote location and met the master, Durand, who had trained his brother.
This is Eric's brother.
After introducing themselves, Durand gave Kurt the money from his brother's fight. However, Kurt became angry and blamed Durand for his brother's death during the fight against Tong Po. Durand, confused, explained that he was just a trainer, and the outcome of the fight depended on the fighter's own abilities.
I train people. We have to go. Kurt, let's go.
At the airport, the police warned Kurt not to return to the country, as he would be immediately hunted down if he did. However, unbeknownst to the police, Kurt, filled with revenge for his brother's death, decided not to go home and would not rest until his vengeance was fulfilled. Apparently, Kurt went to Tong Po's training camp with the intention of killing him. There, he disguised himself as a new recruit at the camp. The gatekeeper, named Kavi, allowed him to enter after receiving money from Kurt. However, his fight with Kavi caught the attention of the other students, who then watched them duel so. After losing to Kurt, Kavi was immediately fired from his position as the gatekeeper. Nevertheless, Kavi apologized for his rude behavior. Kurt accepted the apology, though he knew that Kavi was not truly sincere. He was only interested in the money Kurt brought.
You know what? Keep it.
All of it?
Yeah.
As night fell, they gathered after dinner at the training ground to witness a demonstration by Tong Po, who could bring down a stone pillar with a single strike. After the demonstration, the event continued with a life and death duel, a tradition in this school. Tong Po's men fought without restrictions, free to use any weapons to defeat their opponents. At midnight, Kirk woke up from his sleep and quickly headed to Tong Po's room with a gun, intending to kill him. However, upon arriving, Tong Po had already known his intentions from the start. Tong Po even considered Kurt to be a coward, unlike his brother Eric, who was brave enough to duel him in the arena. After regaining consciousness, Kurt was scolded by Tong Po's trusted aide after learning of his intention to come to the training camp to kill Tong Po. Soon after, several police officers arrived to take him back to the airport. However, they were stopped by a female officer named Louie, who stated that she would take over Kurt's case from now on. The next morning, as Louie was about to take him to the airport, she warned Kurt not to act recklessly towards Tong Po, as it would complicate her investigation. She explained that the police were currently searching for evidence to arrest Tong Po in connection with an illegal fight. However, as they were traveling, they were intercepted by an elephant brigade, so having no place to stay, Louis took Kurt to Master Duran's residence to be cared for a few days. Kurt begged to be trained in Muay Thai so he could defeat Tong Po, but Duran refused, unwilling to lose another student. However, seeing Kurt's strong determination, Duran finally agreed to test him first. The next day, Kurt began intense training as instructed by Master. Every day, without any rest, he pushed beyond his physical and mental limits to become stronger. That night, Louis, who was worried, visited Kurt. It turned out that she secretly had feelings for him, and they spent the evening together, engaging in activities. Days passed, and Master Duran tested Kurt's skills, which had now reached a high level. He then invited Kurt to go sparring to gain new experience.
See? I'm ready.
Located in a bar hosting an illegal fight, Master Duran brought Kurt there to spar with a fighter named King, who is an acquaintance of Master Duran. Thus, the next morning, a worried Louis came to visit Kurt, warning him to stay in this place and stay away from Tong Po. All she wanted was for Kurt to remain safe and not be caught by other police officers. At the same time, Kavi suddenly arrived and belittled Master Duran, considering him a failed teacher, so
Maybe you should have trained Eric better.
realizing that Kavi was not an opponent to be underestimated, Master Duran became serious and showed the clear difference in ability between them. After the recent event, Kavi admitted his defeat and was asked by Master Durand to work with him, accompanying Kurt in his training. Not only strengthening his physique and punches, Kurt was also trained by Master Durand to escape from his opponent's grip or chokehold. In addition, Master Durand always reminded Kurt of the most important thing: never let fear take control when facing an opponent, for if fear takes over, his fate could end up the same as his brother's. In short, Kurt, feeling that his abilities had developed and seeking revenge for his brother's death, decided to go to Tong Po's training camp and challenge him to a duel.
Tong Po! I challenge you to a fight!
Before accepting the challenge, Tong Po ordered one of his students to test Kurt's abilities first. Done with the previous man, Tong Po ordered another one of his students to step forward. Seeing his student fall so easily, Tong Po ordered his trusted aide to inform Kurt that he accepted the challenge. However, the fight would not take place today, but in an arena that would be prepared.
Be prepared.
The next morning, Louis received news from his subordinates that Kurt had arrived at Tong Po's training camp with the intention of challenging him to a fight. Meanwhile, Marcia would prepare the location for the battle.
ฉันพลาดอะไรหรือเปล่า
Challenge you to a fight!
Confirm ว่ามาเสีย
Marcia was with the police officer who had always assisted her in the illegal fighting business. The officer wanted to inform her that information about her had leaked to the authorities, especially to Louis. However, Marcia was not worried at all, as she had already devised a sinister plan to eliminate Louis first.
Doesn't that sound ideal?
That night, Louis, who had placed a tracking device on Marcia's car, quickly rushed to her location to make an arrest. However, unaware, he walked straight into a trap so. To prevent illegal fights from happening again, Louis and his fellow officers immediately approached Kurt, who was relaxing with Master Durand. He intended to arrest and imprison them.
Under arrest.
Inside the cell, Kurt, who wanted to fight, planned to escape with Master Durand. They immediately took action to deceive the police in this way.
อีกคนหายไปไหนเฮ้ยเพื่อนของแกคนหาย
Casually, they knocked down the guards who kept coming while searching for a way out, until finally. In short, night fell, and the match between Kurt and Tong Po was about to begin. Kurt and Master Durand, who had previously escaped from prison, arrived at the arena just in time. Meanwhile, Tong Po was already preparing for the fight. However, before it started, Master Durand reminded Kurt not to be afraid, as it could greatly affect his performance in the battle.
Fighters!
Before the fight began, the referee announced a special rule that would make this match even more exciting. In the second round, the fighters would be allowed to use weapons, so
Fight!
due to Tong Po's much larger physique, Kurt struggled to face him. Nevertheless, with strong determination and the skills he possessed, Kurt kept fighting with all his strength to bring him down. After the first round, Marsha signaled Tong Po to give Kurt a slight opportunity to make the fight appear more balanced. She believed that this would make the audience more interested and increase their betting stakes.
Sit down.
Is it done?
Entering the second round, the fighters were required to coat their hands with shards of glass. The referee signaled, indicating that the fight had begun. For the second time, Kurt was made to struggle, causing him to fall several times. However, despite this, he gradually managed to wound Tong Po with his fists, which only made Tong Po angrier. Meanwhile, outside the arena, the police, led by Louis, arrived to conduct a raid. This time, Marsha was arrested for organizing illegal fights. She was immediately taken into custody and brought to the police station. However, upon entering, Louis instructed his subordinates not to interfere with the fight, as if giving Kurt the chance to settle his revenge. Entering the final round, the fighters were each given 2 swords. They would fight fiercely, determining who would emerge as the winner of this battle. This time, the fight seemed balanced as Kurt was able to block all the attacks from Tong Po. However, it didn't last long, as Tong Po used his legs to launch a powerful attack. As he continued to struggle and lost both of his swords, Kurt launched a powerful attack, managing to knock his opponent's sword away. However, Master Durand told Kurt to get up and retrieve his sword. Kurt quickly grabbed one of the swords and threw it directly at Tong Po. The sword managed to slightly wound Tong Po's face and got stuck in the wire barrier. This enraged Tong Po, and he immediately grabbed Kurt's head, intending to finish him off right then and there. In that moment, Kurt remembered his brother, Eric, who had been killed by Tong Po. With all his strength, he broke free from the grip using the technique taught by Master Durand, until the spectators, including Kavi, who witnessed the recent event, immediately cheered and gave their full support to Kurt, reigniting his spirit so that not willing to lose just like that, Tong Po got back up and pushed Kurt towards the wire barrier, intending to finish him off with the sword stuck in it. However,
This is for Eric.
after successfully avenging his brother, Kurt finally feels relieved and has to part ways with Master Durand. Now he is accompanied by Louis, who has become his lover. Finished. The moral of the story from this film is to learn from Kurt's character, who teaches us to never give up, even when everything feels tough. He proves that even after failure, we can rise again and become stronger. Determination and learning from mistakes are the keys to moving forward. I am Wing, the toughest man in the world, and I want to thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you.